welcome back to Cooking Champagne. So today we are going to be making one of the most comforting side dishes ever, broccoli rice casserole, and it is so good. It's not just for Thanksgiving or Christmas, it is something to have all year round. It is so warm, gooey, and comforting, and it's got bacon and cheese and half, and I mean, I don't really know how you can go wrong with that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with some broccoli. So I have a couple broccoli florets here that I just kind of pop the ends off. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna blanch these. So we're just gonna really quickly give them a good boil bath, and then we're gonna pop them into a bowl of some ice water. That's gonna stop the cooking, it's gonna shock them, and it's gonna help them retain that really pretty bright green flavor. So we got a pot here that's kind of simmering, not too high. We're gonna put a little bit of salt in there, and then we're just gonna drop in our broccoli florets. Got our broccoli florets in there, and these are just gonna take a couple minutes, if even that. And as you can see, it's like the second you put the broccoli in there, they get that bright green flavor. So I'm just gonna give them a little gentle stir. So these look pretty good. We're gonna give that just a few more minutes, and then we'll put them in the ice water bath. So what I really love about this dish is that I'm lazy and I don't like to wash dishes, especially when Ryan's not here to clean up after me. So I try to keep as much of the cooking of this dish in one pot. So we're gonna start the dish with cooking the broccoli in here and giving it a good blanch. And then we're actually gonna cook the rice for this casserole in the water that the broccoli is boiling in. The rice is done, we're gonna take that out, and we'll get the sauce and the base of everything, and it's all gonna get put right back into this pot, pop it in the oven, and it's gonna be so good. You could cook it separately if you wanted to kind of speed up the process, get your rice going first, and then do all of this, but I, like I said, like to keep dishes to a bare minimum. Drained out the broccoli water, and I measured about 3 cups of it out because I have 1.5 cups of some jasmine rice. You can use whatever kind of rice you like. I like long grain, basmati rice, jasmine rice, anything that's got like a lot of flavor like that. And I added 2 tablespoons of butter to the water just to keep it nice and buttery, and I don't want the rice to stick in the pot either. So I've got it to a nice little simple boil, and we're just gonna sprinkle this in. We're gonna give it a stir. And we're gonna let this come back up to a boil. Let it boil for about like 1 minute or so, and then we'll turn the heat down to simmer, and we'll let it simmer for about like 15 to 18 minutes until it's nice and pork tender. Some cubed up pieces of bacon. I cooked the rice and I have it here in this bowl. It's just cooling, and now we're gonna add some bacon to it. A lot of times broccoli rice casserole will have like ground meat or like breakfast sausage, but I didn't have any of that when I first started making this, and I used bacon, and I actually kind of prefer the flavor of bacon in there, and I'm not trying to get the bacon like really crisp and brown. I kind of like it if it has a little bit of softness to it. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine everything back into this pot, and we're gonna bake it. Start on the creamy part of this. So first we're gonna add some cream of mushroom. You could do cream of chicken. You could do really anything. So We're gonna make fart noise. And we're just gonna let this slowly melt away. And then we're gonna add in some half and half. You can do half and half, you could do heavy cream, you could do milk, you could do chicken stock, it really doesn't matter. So I'm starting with about, I would say, what is this? This is a cup. And I just kind of eyeball it. So we'll start with maybe like a half a cup. We'll stir it in and we'll see, you know, how the consistency looks. What the hell? We'll just go ahead and put this. C'est la vie, right? So now we'll finish stirring this through. And honestly, at this point, you can just turn your burner off. Okay. So that was a whole cup of half and half. Or milk or heavy cream, whatever you have. All right, so now I'm gonna get it even better. So I have here just some grated cheddar cheese. This is actually just whatever cheese I had in my fridge. I have like the mixture of the cheddar with the Colby Jack and then just some regular cheddar. So we'll put, I would say, we'll start with like a cup, maybe a cup and a half, maybe 2. Okay, so we have that in there and we just wanna stir this through. And you can just use the pre-grated stuff. I know some people are kind of cheese snobs and they feel like you have to buy the big block of it and grate it yourselves. When it comes to a casserole like this, with this much butter, bacon, and heavy cream, I don't think we really need to get that fancy with the cheese. Now we have the saltiness of the bacon. We added salt to the water whenever we cook the broccoli. So I kind of want to keep the salt to a little bit of a minimum, especially given the other seasoning. So I'm only going to do probably, I would say, like half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna taste this before I put it in the oven. And then we'll do about like 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And then right here, this is actually just some Lowry seasoned salt. We'll do, I would say, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of that. And then I also have a mixture of some garlic powder and onion powder. And I like to keep these mixed together just because if I'm using one, I'm using the other. So we'll do like 2 teaspoons of that because it gives it really good flavor. And then for a little spice and then also a nice salty bite to it, I'm also gonna add a little slappy mama, just maybe like half, 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then also, this is kind of like the key part of this is Ole Bay. This is gonna give it that nice kind of tangy boil flavor, which I think just works really well. And what I like about Ole Bay is it gives it that kind of boiled salty bite, but it doesn't make it salty. I don't know if that really makes sense. It's salty, but it doesn't taste salty. I don't know. Anyway, so we did about a teaspoon of that also. So now we're just gonna stir this all in and honestly just season it to taste. If there's another type of flavoring you want, if you wanna put some cayenne in here, make it a little spicy, do whatever you like. But typically I like to start with like a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of things, taste it, and then kind of go from there. And every time I make this, I feel like it's different. I usually just eyeball it, but I think we're safe with that. Now we gotta taste it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Rest of this grated cheese, and we're gonna top it. So we have our cheese on there, and this would be the time to put actual breadcrumbs if you had them, but I didn't have any, so you can just get like these little crusty little toasts. These are rosemary and garlic flavored. I just popped some in a baggie and broke them up. These will work just fine. And you don't even have to put any breadcrumbs if you don't have any, but I like that crunch. So we'll just top these all over, and I'm gonna crush them a little bit more in my hand. This might be the best topping for this so far that I would have never known had I not forgot breadcrumbs. So we'll see. Stay tuned. The crust is probably the best part. Well, no, the whole thing's the best part. So now what we're gonna do is pop this into a 350-degree oven. Everything's cooked through. You just want the cheese to melt, the breadcrumbs to get nice and toasted and brown, and everything to kind of set and get bubbly around the edges. So just watch it. It may take like 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll taste it. So excited. Okay, so pop it in the oven. Oh my God. Those little toasted up, what are they called? Damn it. It's too damn good, I can't think of nothing. Anyway, it's so amazing. The crumpled up little tostini crackers on top are so amazing. It's creamy, it's rich. You have got to try this. Please, please, if you love yourself, you will try it, okay? Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. That was pointless.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.